2001, 2002. 2. On December 31, 2001, I had given into my restlessness. I did not go with my friends to the Oberoi Grand. There was a sickening buzz drumming in my soul. On such nights, I travelled through the darkness-filled back streets, walking through the alleyways towards River Hooghly from the Chittaranjan Avenue. These fog-drenched lanes, full of whores of every variety, drunks, drug pushers, smart pimps, lemonade vendors, mustachioed sellers of imported condoms, cigarettes and chewing gums, abandoned lovers and unemployed poets, police constables, and emaciated foremen from closed-down mills look almost like a city lost underneath an ocean. Did I forget where I had to go? In the city far away somewhere I could sense drums playing a thunderous tune, lights forming a spectacle of holy war, the bourgeoisie and the rich from the provinces dirtying their branded shirts, and shining cars with wine and tomato curry. In the evening, I had stealthily visited the minaret of restlessness, the terrace of a modest quarter on the premises of the National Library, where many years back I had lost my virginity clumsily to a girl, whose face I no longer could remember. I came back to this place many a time to make desperate attempts to recollect that starlit spring night when I had first tasted the darkness of a woman's body, walking and walking and walking aimlessly, tirelessly and without any respite. Through the oceanic pathways I reached a cobblestone paved road lit by a cocktail of bluish and greenish light. Its sources beyond my vision. The sky looked bitumen black dotted with crimson stars. The road was lined with monuments and cathedrals made out of black and white stone, like the ones I had seen in European paintings. I halted like a modern car on radial tires. Not by the scene of this strange road that I sighted, but by the view of a burned-down tramcar that was rotting on its sidewalk, darkness oozing through its window panels. The corpses of its driver, ticket collectors, and a few dwarfish passengers frozen and reduced to skeletons. The pain of death imprinted on each face. Could I hear wails in the distance of men and women being cast? Finally, I got distracted by an advertisement on a glittering billboard rising atop the dome of a cathedral. It showed the view of a castle on the foaming sunny seaside, surrounded by plantations of green and the happy face of a beaming woman. Juxtaposed on this wonderful landscape, it read, "Desire chain of hotels for the lovelorn, the chivalrous and the courageous. Come back to your home, crafted in luxury and style."